Oh my gosh, I did not get any of that. Are you fucking kidding me? I didn't get any of that. Oh, they were locking talons and the whole 9 yards over there. The whole time I thought I was videotaping. Anyway, we've got a group of white flying ones over here. But yeah, that was a pretty daggone good Jackie, Shadow, and a younger hawk, and they locked talons for a second right over here by the trees. It was pretty sweet. Anyway, 2 ravens heading over that direction now. Who do we have way up here? Getting ready to fly overhead. Here goes another raven crossing my head, but who's right up here above me? Raven. Definitely all black. There's no white flash. Catch my equilibrium here. Anyway, oh man, that was an awesome show and display, I guess you could say, that was taking place with a younger eagle, and I was like quite not so sure yet, except it did a couple of tips, and I'm like, yeah, you're a younger one. And then it was either Jackie or Shadow come flying in, and they started circling around each other, and then all of a sudden they had their talons locked, and then either Jackie or Shadow came from over this direction. Of course, then the eagles come, or the hawks come, sorry, the ravens come flying over, and yeah, of course, then they off back over to the tree they went. So that was pretty sweet. The whole time I thought I was videotaping it, and no, and that's okay. It is what it is. I'm sure it was caught on the fob cams, and he's gonna take me down this way, which is good. This is good. Probably about as far as we can go. No, we can keep going, Chief. Anyway, wow. Thank you. And I guess maybe the reason I did not catch it is because, wow, now that's sweet. Wow. Yeah, because I'm I had a beautiful, beautiful night, Spirit. It was a beautiful night. We settled right in to Hoopsie. Ooh, beautiful chunk. Wait, there it is. Beautiful chunk there. Yeah, left my shoes down there at the dragon log, or the snake log. I'll zoom in over there. And it was right after that I was like, wow, this feels so good. I don't know if I even want to put shoes back on, period. I got a pair of moccasins I can put on if I am going into a store so I don't get thrown out, unless I don't care if I get thrown out. Been there, done that one before. I'm not in any type of goat head territory, so it's not like every step I'm taking I need to pull goat heads out. And I spent so many years completely barefoot unless I was on my iron pony, because you know when you put your feet down, whatnot, it is a good idea. But I had open toes. Yes, we understand, thank you. But I had open toes, and I needed the airflow. And somehow I came to a compromise and started wearing shoes again. Of course, part of it was being up north. It is difficult being barefoot in the snow and ice, especially if you are not. I did it. That's how I began when I lived in Ohio with the dog house. However, when you've been in temperatures between 70, 50, 60, 70, and 80, 90, 100, it kind of gets, let's see, I'm not sure how this works. I don't want to violate. Maybe it would be best if we just turned right back around. This is where the show is anyway, as far as it goes. But as soon as I took the shoes off, and those little cotton shoes are actually quite comfortable. They do allow some of the geomagnetic field, and they feel very, very comfortable, and they squished and molded to my feet. It was so sweet. They're more natural material. However, wow, the difference once I took the shoes off. And I kind of like being down there along the Colorado River. And then I start really feeling and noticing. And that's when I got this look up. And I looked up and I'm like, whoa, who's this over here? Who's this over here? Yeah. So, hey. I get it. I was actually hearing, leave the shoes, and I'm going, seriously, Spirit, you want me to leave the shoes? And then I'm like, who's the I that I am speaking? And I went through all the little questions within myself, and, well, it's just feeling so good. Oh, feeling so good. And of course, then I get this little stone here. It's like, wow, you're beautiful. I am going this way, Chief. Oh, yeah, squishies. Oh, holy sweet Jesus, that's cold. Oh, yeah. It didn't feel that cold earlier. I mean, it did, but it didn't. Check out the markings on this little drift. You're soggy, but check out the markings there. That is so cool. Yeah, I'm sure you would dry out and be so cute. You look like a little critter. You sure do. Okay, I'll take you with me. Heaven have mercy. Yeah, you stay up there where it's safe, Chiefy. Stay down here and try not to splash you too much. Oh, we had a really sweet morning. There was some, Chief is full of it and just wants to go. And he's used to running and doing all that in his little safe zone there, and so forth with in Yuma. However, can't allow him to do that here because he would be treeing squirrels, and yeah, it just would be a little. And he's calmed down. He's like finally has calmed down. It's been me working the energy myself, the me. And what I kept hearing is, yes, join the fire family and then go back on airplane mode. This is 3 days of you. I haven't taken any videos. This was the first video, and I was actually doing my best to capture the show, to share it with the fire family. And what I kept hearing is, no, This is all about you and your solitude right here, right now. It's like a I'm hearing a 3 to 4 day, almost like a vision quest or medicine wheel. Just, we offloaded all the apps except for Zoom, and it turned off cellular data on everything else. And then I finally went to airplane mode this morning after the fire circle. I needed to just zone kind of thing. I'm going to leave you right here, okay, with this, which for me feels like we stopped here and I first looked down, I'm like, that can't be a sand dollar. And I picked it up and it was really, really light, almost had the feel. It has the feel of a sand dollar. And I'm like, wow, okay, well, I set it here to guard the little shoes in case I was going to choose to pick them back up. But I'm going to leave you little kiddos right here. I'm taking this little kiddo and my little gift of a nectarine, one of those clementines or cuties or whatever you want to call them. And whatever is here when we return is what we are to take with us. So, thank you. Thank you for really fully grounding me. So, there was some agitation this morning, but man, we had a really, really super sweet experience at the 76, and we got hot water and a full thing of hot water and a cup of coffee for $1. And I'm going, wait a minute, this is California. What's happening here? But he was absolutely adorable. So we'll go back there and definitely fill up the tank tomorrow. Wanted to wait for one of the last auto withdrawal to take place, and then we will do our thing. And then we finally found a place. We had a situation this morning, and I'm like, oh, I can't go back there. But no, I went back and was going to clean up my mess. And there was somebody parked there. There was a bit of embarrassment. Yeah, well, I will say, I'm like, oh man. However, it's like, I'm doing my best. And then I felt a little bit, I had this kind of that guilt shame thing taking place with not feeling centered when I came in on my prayer, but it centered me. And then Hoopsie and I had a spectacular time, and Chief, and we didn't have anybody trying to ram up our tushes and shove us off the road. We got Raven over here taking a drink. There she goes. We've been leaving treats everywhere that we've spotted Raven. Some of the little kitty cat treats and or chunks of apple. The little Stellar Jays came and took some of the apple. But it's been a long time. I'm like, have y'all forgotten me? Please don't forget me. Yeah, I know. Where ravens become eagles, and we have graduated to being eagles. I get it. and or hummingbirds. Actually, I feel like because of all the hummingbird sightings and then fully accepting the grandmother status, etc., and then learning that hummingbird is the universal sign and the one thing that can be placed on a female. It doesn't matter which nation, because the hummingbird signifies a grandmother. And so I'm like, oh, well, that's why nothing has gotten painted on my drum yet, because I am to paint my hummingbird on her. Especially what did you eat? Especially when the grandmother drum, which I brought up to the grandmothers for us to pray on it, for her to get her landing spot so she can be heard and played and honored and respected. And we'll see where that space is going to be. Hey, hey. Hey, hey. Oh, gosh. The background feels so good. And to not have to be, I mean, I'm mindful with every step I take, but there's an extra mindfulness when you're walking amongst thorns and goat heads and so forth. Oh, it just feels so good. Listen to that. That sounds so good. Hearing the owls, hearing the ravens, hearing and seeing red-winged blackbirds, the mullein, smelling the pine, cedar, and yeah, so good. Now I will say the other kiddos do have their, you're not going to go chasing the ducks. Of course, they moved out of your way anyway. You get amongst the pine cones. Those hurt a little bit. There's an extra mindfulness there. And, of course, that's where the moccasins come into play and can. Especially if I go east anywhere and there's the thorn bushes. You definitely want to wear them anyway. Quite helpful. So, of course, you never know. May head back and they may still be there later. We shall see. Sometimes that's what I allow with myself. That willingness to let go, yet, okay, something I don't know, I'll keep them. I remember going back once to a railroad track, and part of me was really hoping and praying they were still there, and they weren't. That was the last time, one of the other times the last time I just said, no, I am done. I am not putting a barrier between me and the Mother Earth anymore. And that's when I stopped. So, I set those shoes on the railroad tracks and offered a prayer. There's the moon. Hi. Oh, yes, it's so good to see I turned on to check messages. I was actually just checking to see if my Headfash representative had anything to share, and ended up getting swallowed into some other messages which needed to be taken care of, but it kind of felt like round 3. I'm like, shit, here goes round 3. And I felt terrible with how I just spewed out at the most beautiful, gorgeous, giving, caring soul. One of them that I know. And of course she was fine. She understood, and she had her own apology. And I'm like, no, you don't need to apologize to me. She didn't need to apologize to me. And of course, I guess I really didn't need to apologize to her, but I will say I did not handle it very gracefully. And so it has me looking at round 3 in this. It's what it kind of felt like. The first day, yesterday, it was, and I got everything straightened around, and then everything was fine. And beautiful, like, whew, okay. Thank you for shedding that off. And then thank you for shedding that off. And then thank you for shedding that off. Coming to my awareness and going, oh. So, thank you, Spirit. Thank you. And I really didn't plan on doing a journal entry, like I said. And maybe I'll just take a couple of screenshots from it, because I have been taking very select photos, and some things are like, nope, you're not supposed to catch me in photo, you're not supposed to discuss me. This is just between us, between me, myself, and I. And that's primarily what this little period is for. For me, just getting out of the big city. Well, for me, it was a big city. But I mean, there's the city here. You've got Big Bear over there, but it's not like a big city. There was one little station open this morning. That's it. You know, a lot of your cities, there's something that's open 24 hours a day, and there's always something going on. Here, completely quiet. I was driving over there at 5 o'clock in the morning, and one little station open. It's like, wow. And then coming back, there was one vehicle, right? And just when I was at the light, and I thought that was where I was supposed to turn, and it wasn't, I thought I was still the only person on the road, right? And I go to swing to get back and go on the lane, and all of a sudden it's like, where the hell did that truck come from? Whoosh! I'm like, where did you come from? It was very interesting. Of course, he did a really good job at avoiding me and keeping control of the truck. And, you know, of course, I did my please forgive me, thank you. You know, it's kind of like, whoa. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. But it's 25 miles, or no, that I think through there it's 35 on that side of the lake. He surely was doing more than 35, in my little humble opinion. But on this side, it's 25, and I have yet to see a vehicle that actually goes 25. So it's just, and of course, and then if you are going 25, well, you're an obstacle in the way. Get out of the way. The road coming up, interestingly enough, the speed limit, at least what I was seeing on my maps, says 55. But you are going around curve after curve after curve after curve and going uphill and curve and curve and curve and curve and curve. And all of those are either 25 miles an hour or 30 miles an hour. I didn't see any of them that was over 30 miles an hour. And of course, it's all Hoopsie could do, 35 miles an hour. So I'm going over the speed limit for the curves. The recommended speed limit for the curves. And of course, I'm finding myself leaning, pretending like that, thinking I'm on my motorcycle. And of course, I got vehicles on my ass, and they're trying to get me out of the way and trying to go around me in no passing zones and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, gee, many Christmas. And this one gentleman, he was so close on my tush. I could see his family in his vehicle. He was, and of course, had this really super expensive white SUV kind of a truck thing. And I could not see his headlights. I could not see him. That's how close he was to the rear end of Hoopsie. And then he's got his nose over like he's trying to find the right moment to try to pass me. Oh, yeah, that was really, really interesting. I think Rashini's obviously is like, this is where we need to go up. Kahoo. I'm like, okay. He's done here. Oh, the smell that. Oh, God, that smells so good. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, that smells so good. Oh, thank you. Oh. So, yep, Hoopsie's right over here. And here's a lot of the other little RVs. For whatever reason, they come down this way during the day, and then in the evenings, everyone disperses and finds a spot. There was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of us down at the Cougar Place. Well, it's across the way here, the Cougar Trailhead. So I'm gonna call it complete here. You've got went from 0, I guess I'm not calling it complete, went from what, like 100, not much over sea level. We're not even 200 feet above sea level there in Yuma, Arizona. We're not quite at sea level like Phoenix, but we're not too far from it. And within 5 hours, we're at 7,000 feet. Of course, right here, it's more like 67, because we did come down a little bit, but it's like, wow. So, yeah, it's been an interesting, beautiful, man, we slept so good last night. But I'm definitely like we tried to do our normal thing, and well, I'm like, this ain't happening, Chief. We got to take it a little bit slower. A little bit slower, Chief. And then needed to stop several times and just kind of breathe, sit on the earth. Maybe that wouldn't have taken place so much had I taken the shoes off. There were several times I heard, take the shoes off and leave them, take the shoes off and leave them. But I resisted. I kept resisting. And yeah, well, the clarity has come through, so thank you. Thank you. The stubborn mule here, I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you. Well, we're going to see if we can get Hoopsie in some shade. She's now in the sun. And it looks like she's going to be sitting there cooking for a little while if I don't move her. So, but actually the temperatures here are, oh my God, spectacular. Spectacular. The air is spectacular. The water is as cold as the Colorado River, if not colder, or at least this morning it was. And then a little bit later, it just felt so good. I got in about knee deep. Couldn't take it any further. Not yet. I got numb within about 3 minutes. So it's pretty cold. I would say it's colder than the Colorado River. And spent a nice, beautiful period of time under a gorgeous, I mean, humongous. She's not a mother tree. She's a grandmother tree. And she had the mother tree by her and then probably the 3 sisters. But it was like being encased within a circle of 5 of them. It was so neat, so beautiful. And yeah, I was a little bit emotional leaving the apartment, and I have not sent the email. I have decided to wait to see if I may return, but currently that's how I was feeling, trying to working on leaving and getting triggered in so many different ways, and breathing through them and working through them. And now that we have reached here, it kind of feels like I made it out of one vortex, right? Made it out of the vortex that was trying to suck me in, so to speak, after fulfilling all of my needs. It's like, no, we're keeping them. But, and letting go of that perceived security blanket, you could say, or perceived security. And so then having the night and really settling in, and it's like, no. And seeing how many others, I mean, it is quite evident. They're leaving certain areas open. It says no camping, but one gentleman started to walk over to me, and I kind of like, whoa, that's far enough, sir. I said, I experience a little bit of PTSD. And he says, I don't know what that is. He says, but basically you don't want to talk. And I says, no, sir, please forgive, I'm sorry. And he says, no, you don't need to apologize. I just wanted to share with you that it may say no camping, but you can see how they're all set up along down there. He says, they don't chase us off. I don't stay here. I go across the street. And so he was literally across the street on the side of the road. However, I had stayed before at the trailhead, the Cougar trailhead, and we slid right back into that spot. And we sat there and watched a squirrel and more of a chipmunky squirrel, but not really a chipmunk, and some lizards and the ravens, and the sun goes down and the vehicles pull in, and we got things situated, and it was just a beautiful, beautiful, gorgeous night, and seeing all of the stars, and we slept so well. And the only issue is that they lock the bathrooms, and so this evening I am going to stay down here because they do have 2 portalets here. They have the bathrooms locked here, but they have the portalets, and so that was really the only thing. Otherwise, and then I couldn't find anything. It was just so we did a regrouping and a resituating, and now we have things much better configured, and without so much, just because I made several stops on the way out of town, and I was just kind of stuffing this here and stuffing that there, and there was no real time to get things configured without what I felt like eyeballs watching me all the time. That's what it felt like when we first pulled down in here, because there were so many others, and they're all sitting in their vehicles just watching each other. And so we were taking our walks, and I didn't want it to look as if I was, somebody just living out of my vehicle. Because most of them, they're either male, or at least what I was seeing, male or partners. One was 2 women, and a really nice van setup, actually. They had a lot of stuff in there. I'm like, boy, they hit a bump. They're hitting their rims, the tires. There was just no shock left. But hey, they're doing their thing, and I think that's just so cool. So, it was also quite entertaining. I was like, really, dude? This got one gentleman, he backed up, pulled around, backed up, pulled around, backed up, pulled around, readjusted, went to the other side, backed up, pulled around, backed up, pulled around. I don't know how many dozens of times before he finally just stopped and and called it a night. It was hilarious. Probably about like 20 times, I would say, if not more. What do you know? Hold on. Okay, you want to get going. All right, I've talked long enough. Okay, thank you.